Robert Greene says, in the face of the sublime, we feel a shiver, something too large for our minds to encompass, and for a moment it shakes us out of our smugness and releases us from the death-like grip of habit and banality. Can we exist on that plane at all times? I mean, this interview that I watched with Eckhart Tolle tonight, he seems all right. He doesn't seem like a crazy person. But I feel like if I were to tap into those states, I would be a crazy person. Part of this stuff is difficult for me because I never want to feel like I'm getting tricked. I never want to feel like I'm putting my faith in something that can't be explained, that can't be backed up with facts or science or numbers or experience. I feel like if I give myself over to this unconditional happiness, to this seat of the self, like somehow I'm being tricked. But then what does it matter? Really? Because do I want to be happy or do I want to be skeptical and sad? What good is knowledge if you're fucking miserable? But this is my tether to the rational. Untethered soul. Untether it, Corey. There's that good third person talk. Untether it and get that frappuccino, baby. I don't want to seem crazy or stupid or naive to follow this stuff, but it does feel different than other therapies that I've experienced. So am I in fact going crazy, or am I coming back to some sort of sanity? Am I polishing a mirror that's now really showing me something real? My soul. I don't know if that experience was real or not real, because I felt it. It was real in whatever it was, but whether it was temporal or universal, I'm not sure. I don't know if this was the self or God or the Atman or Brahman or whatever the term is, the Godhead inside. But it does feel like something more, something that I keep wanting to explore, this different experience. I want to keep going. I want to keep trying to keep fading back and behind. He says to fade back and behind, to shine the spotlight on the self. This is the practical tip. Nassim Nicholas Taleb says, for the classics, philosophical insight was the product of a life of leisure. For me, a life of leisure is the product of philosophical insight. I feel like that taps into what this is, that if you can steal peace from the self, this philosophical insight, literally and figuratively insight, there is peace there. There is leisure. There is a life different than what we're experiencing most of the time. This tense grip on temporal reality, on material reality. It feels like with these ideas, the mind can be broken while the spirit is always whole. The self is whole. Because there is always a neutral witness. There is always the self. Otherwise, what is experiencing this?